Hello and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm at a restaurant in Japan called Hamazushi. Hamazushi is a chain of sushi restaurants, Conveyor Belt Sushi, and they advertise plates of sushi for starting at 100 yen. Most of their plates of sushi, as you can see, are 100 and up yen. The sushi comes by on a little conveyor belt and stops directly in front of you. So at every sushi restaurant, most sushi conveyor belt restaurants in Japan, we have some free green tea. So this is the ocha, the green tea powder. Here it comes in a little shaking cup called ocha. So we'll give it a few shakes. It's pretty strong, so you really don't need that much. And it's unlimited, which is great. Then they have a hot water dispenser. And you get unlimited, delicious Japanese green tea. Now here we have our soy sauces. They have 4 different varieties. So this one is from Kyushu. We have Hiraka Kombu soy sauce. So this is like a seaweed soy sauce. This one's actually really light. If it's like this one, might be popular. Shikoku style ponzu soy sauce. So this one's gonna be a little bit more sour. And then Kanto style soy sauce from the Kanto region. And of course we have sushi, Hamazushi's special sushi soy sauce. So this one is the recommended, the basic. We'll go ahead and do that. Now in Japan, it's considered very rude to use too much soy sauce on a plate. So we'll go ahead and start out just with a little bit. We also have some extras here. Just little spices you can put on your sushi for a little bit of extra flavor. This one's a type of salt. And then this is a 7-spice blend. It's a teeny bit spicy, but it's more just to add some flavor, usually to meat flavored sushis. Then here we have our wasabi. And what is this? Okay, this is a sweet sauce, like a sweeter version of a soy sauce. Here at Conveyor Belt Sushi, you're supposed to order based on a screen menu. So we're gonna look. They actually have a convenient language option. So we'll switch it to English. Aha. So, seasonal menu, pieces of bliss, sumptuous sushi with grated radish. We're gonna go for nigiri. And my favorite is salmon. So, salmon and avocado is one of my favorites here. So we'll definitely order 1 plate of this. We received your order. What else? Actually, salmon with salty citrus sounds good. That's like a lemon and salt salmon. So we'll do that. Let's see. Ooh, I'm so tempted by all the salmon, but perhaps let's try something else. What's on our seasonal menu? Ooh. Okay, let's try a Wagyu roast beef with lemon. That sounds delicious. So,
Don't forget to pick it up.
and here is our first sushi. So that little jingle happens when your order is arriving. And another's you can see just how fast this is, Conveyor Belt Sushi. It looks so delicious. It's fast, it's convenient, it's cheap quality. You can see the cuts are a little bit shredded. It's not like a homemade, home-cut sushi, but I see, as you can see, my roast beef has fallen off the sushi. That's kind of like the 100 yen sushi quality. It's still pretty good though. So here we have our chopsticks. All right, what should we have first? I'd really like to have this avocado salmon. It's a little difficult to eat with all the onion on top, so let's try to separate this, not make a huge mess. All right, take a little bit of sushi. Just dip a teeny bit in the soy sauce. Excellent flavor. Very, very good. Now, ideally, when you're eating sushi, and I'll show you here the proper way to actually eat sushi. It's difficult here because the slices of fish are so small. Ideally, what you want to do is turn it on its side and then only touch the fish to the soy sauce. For example, like this, just a little bit. Lemon is very, very good. So this way of eating the sushi is because if we dip it from the rice side down here, it's kind of like insulting the chef. Like, you need so much soy sauce for your sushi. You're telling the chef that the sushi is not good quality. Of course, here at a place with 100 yen sushi, they really don't care. But if you're ever eating high-end sushi, make sure you only get soy sauce on the fish and only a little tiny bit. Oh, wow, this sushi was so delicious and sour. Let's move this onion out of here. I love the tanginess to the sushi. That's one of my favorite things about salmon. Oh, we lost our lemon zest. That's fine. All right. So just dip the fish a little bit in the soy sauce whenever possible. I cannot believe that was only 100 yen. That was so, so good. Excellent. Now, because it's 100 yen sushi, sometimes you will get sort of mistakes. I've been here before where there was a little piece of bone in my sushi. That was not good. Again, like our roast beef, sometimes it just falls straight off the plate. It's not always the freshest fish. It's not always local fish. Sometimes it's Norwegian fish. I've seen fish from Canada. But in general, it's really, really good. And just the quality compared to the price, you really can't beat it. So check this out, our Wagyu sushi. Wagyu is a very, very soft type of meat. You've probably heard of it. It's also famous overseas. Actually, let's squeeze a teeny bit of this lemon. I don't want the seed on there though. Go away, seed. All right, just a little bit of lemon. Oh, I love lemon, as you can tell. All right. This one will not get soy sauce. The meat-based dishes rarely do. It's recommended with lemon, and I'm sure it already has salt. Let's see how this tastes. Oh man. Thumbs up. That was very, very good. It wasn't as soft as you would imagine a regular Wagyu's to be, but it was soft enough for a 100 yen plate. That was very, very good. Ooh, highly recommend it. Wash it down with some tea. The thing about 100 yen sushi is you can get really carried away really fast. So you can end up ordering 10 plates. They come so fast. You end up eating so quickly. You don't really realize how much you've consumed until later when you're really, really full. If you eat slowly 100 yen sushi, you can get away with maybe 5 or 6 plates and then you'll end up being full, which is great. All right, we'll finish our final salmon avocado before we move on. This place also has pretty good desserts. So, see, with a piece of sushi like this, there's so many toppings that it's extremely difficult to do our only the fish in the soy sauce trick. So for this one, I'd say it's acceptable enough just to dip the rice a little bit. Doop, doop. The avocado is so creamy along with the salmon. It's so perfect. So let's look at the menu that we have once we stack our plates. Here we go. So here's our Hamazushi menu. So as you can see, 100 to 150 yen for all the ones on the top there. This one's a cute little shrimp tempura. So here are the 3 Wagyus that we just had. This was the lemon one that we tasted. This one's gonna be like looks like a miso, maybe with some ponzu, and then we have the regular. Now here is anago. Anago is kind of like an eel, but less expensive than its kind of like a sister animal, which would be unagi. Unagi is like a sea eel that is very expensive, very highly sought after in Japan. Oh, it's delicious, even with a sweet sauce. Here we have a chutoro. That is medium fatty tuna. Yes, medium fatty tuna. Very, very delicious. So all sorts of. This one here is uni. Uni is sea urchin in Japan. You know those black spiky sea urchins? Inside they have this orange porous flesh. I am not a fan of uni at all. I think it tastes kind of bad. Same thing with ikura. Ikura is like a fish egg, and that's wrapped in seaweed. I'm not huge on fish eggs either. I think they're alright. Nothing special though. And then here, this kanji is otoro. So otoro is like a fatty salmon. It's the higher end salmon. Very, very greasy, but like the good kind of grease, like the fish oil kind of grease that we pay for with the supplements. Okay, so let's see what else we can get here in our sushi menu. So soup and noodles, I'm curious. Okay, so as you can see, we can buy ramen here as well. I wouldn't typically recommend the ramen so much just because it is a sushi restaurant. It's okay, especially if maybe your partner wants sushi but you don't. It's alright. But honestly, if you want ramen, I would recommend going to a ramen restaurant. We have some shrimp tempura soba. And again, same thing. It's okay. But this is a sushi restaurant. I wouldn't super recommend it. Here we just have some sliced fish, no rice. This is usually just for people who are on diets, or maybe they just super like meat. I don't know. Ooh, we have French fries. So French fries, otherwise known as potato in Japan, are really good. Hamazushi's potato is okay. It's 200 yen though, so it equals 2 plates of fish. I'm not huge on it. We have takoyaki. About 220 yen. Takoyaki is octopus balls. Very, very common in anime and video games. I'm sure you've seen it before. Wow, I've never actually seen this before. They have a pizza. A pizza margarita. We won't go for it today just because I don't want to fill up on a single pizza. It's tempting though. Let's see what else we can find. Desserts. Oh, incredible. We will definitely be getting a dessert later, but don't tempt me yet. Let's try tuna. Okay. So fatty tuna, large fatty tuna, lean tuna, 3 tunas. Ooh, interesting. Let's try special soy marinated tuna. That sounds great. We received your order. Also, I would love to order another meat. I'm big on the meat. Where did we go? Nigiri meat. Okay. So we have roast beef. They have duck. All right. If you've never had duck, you've got to try duck. You are absolutely missing out if you've never tried it before. Duck tastes like roast beef, but it's slightly more fatty. It's just absolutely incredible. Hooray!
Please don't forget to pick it up.
Our soy marinated tuna is here. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. It's bright, it's red, it's got the sesame seeds on it. I'm gonna move our menu out of the way so we don't accidentally get stuff on it. They'll clean it, but just to be polite. Wow, look at that. It's brilliant, it's shiny. You can see the fish oil. That's what's making it so shiny and reflective is the fish oil. so healthy. At least I like to think so. Of course, when you load up on things like mayo and meat dishes, it's not all that healthy, but that's fine. This one's soy marinated. I'm not sure if we'll actually need any soy sauce with it, so I'll try one plain first just to see. It's a big bite. Let's do it. Wow. So it's sweet. Alright, our duck is here.
Please don't forget to pick it up.
Ta-da! Wow. Those are huge slices of duck. So, this tuna is actually very, very sweet. It's got a sweet sauce all over it, and it's been marinating, I would assume, for so long. It's made the flesh extremely, extremely soft. It's kind of like a melt in your mouth kind of taste. Oh, that was very good. I would not recommend using any extra sauce on that because it's very saucy and slightly salty already. I'm gonna go ahead and do a palate cleanse there. Very, very good though. I cannot believe this is only 100 yen. Let's go ahead and have the other while it's fresh. And then we'll get to our duck. I can smell it already. It's very smoky. Wow, that is so good. You want to be careful when you're stacking your plates so there's not too much in between. I know we covered up some onions there, but they have a scanner and they scan up the side, and that's how they verify how much you've eaten. So you want to be careful. If there's too much in between, it might count an extra plate. It's never happened to me, but probably because I'm very vigilant about my plates. Another quick rule in Japan is with your chopsticks. You never ever ever want to point your chopsticks at someone. It's considered extremely rude. And if you have any kind of bowl dish, like a ramen or a rice dish, don't leave your chopsticks sticking from down to up. It has to do with Japanese funerals. That's what they do. They would put like 2 sticks of incense straight up in a pot or a bowl. And we don't want to emulate that with our chopsticks. It's very disrespectful to the dead. So always have your chopsticks lying flat. Okay. So here we have our duck. You can see it's very, very fatty. The layer of fat here, you can see the gleam here. But definitely in a good way. It's not like pizza grease. I'm not big on pizza grease. This is like the delicious grease. Now, with duck, you don't need, I'm going to fold it over, that's so big, it's going to fall right out of my mouth. You don't need soy sauce with it. Some people choose to. I'm going to go ahead and not. I'm just going to have it plain for the first bite. All right, our delicious fatty duck. It is so good. It's a little bit dry. If you buy duck from the grocery store or from a butcher, it's not going to be as dry as this. You can kind of tell, okay, I say it's dry, it's glimmering, but compared to a duck that you would buy and cook at home or eat at home, it's a little bit dry. I'll go ahead and add a little bit of soy sauce. Very, very good. Yep. Imagine like a roast beef, except it has a lot more flavor. That's what duck tastes like to me. It's also softer than roast beef. Roast beef can be kind of stringy and hard to chew. Not hard to chew, but you know. It's not like an expensive meat, kind of soft. Excellent, excellent. Okay. I think, I don't want to move on too fast, but I honestly can't even fit that much in my stomach. The recommended dessert right now is a pudding. This is called pudding a la mode. So it looks like it has some sort of golden crunch cereal, ice cream, whipped cream, fruits. I don't think I can eat that much. Let's see what they have for, actually, a drink doesn't sound bad either. So under the drinks, we have alcohol drinks and Hama Cafe. So let's see, Hama. Hama is like stands for Hamazushi, so Hama Cafe is kind of their cute little play on words. So we have green tea latte with tapioca, sweet cafe latte with tapioca pearls, tea with milk and tapioca pearls. Ooh, they all sound good. Let's do, we'll take a look at the rest. We have regular coffees, they're about 150 to 200 yen. Iced coffees, iced green tea lattes. Ooh, that sounds really good. Let's do an iced green tea latte. So another thing to keep in mind if you're in Japan is the sizes are so much different than they are. I'm from the United States, so I'm used to everything being super big size all the time. In Japan, if you order an S size, it's going to be very, very small, which is fine in our case because I don't want to get too full off of one thing. That's kind of the point of coming to a sushi restaurant. But okay, here's my guesstimate. It's going to be about this big. It's going to be like a kid's size, like a child's size. If you were in America, I think that'd be the equivalent. If you buy an L size, which half the time they don't even have an L size, it's going to be like maybe an S size if you're used to Western sizing. It's just, I don't know, people don't eat that much, I guess. I feel like my stomach has shrunk since I moved to Japan because big portions just really aren't that big a thing. With the exception of ramen portions are always huge. I always really, really struggle to finish a bowl of ramen. I know in anime, they make it look so easy, but when you actually presented with a bowl that big, I mean, these bowls get to be like this high, and then they're huge. They're very, very big bowls of ramen. Even if you order half size, you're still getting a gigantic bowl of broth. So I'll take you to a ramen restaurant sometime, though. They're really, really fun. They're really interesting. Sushi's fun because you can just get a variety of stuff. If you're really not craving one thing, they have something else for you. You could even just come here and have a beer and a piece of cake while your friend pigs out if you want. Like, it's awesome. Right now we're in a single booth style seat. You can see we have partitions due to the virus recently. A lot of people come here with their families just because it is so cheap and there's so many variations of things. So behind us, there are also tables available that can seat up to about 6 people, maybe 8 if you really cram in, but very kid-friendly. Kids really like the egg sushi. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. So, our green tea latte has arrived. So, we have the Hama Cafe. In Japanese, it just says Hama Cafe again. It's got a lot of ice. I think this is probably mostly ice. That's how they get you. But you can, let's see if we can get a size comparison. This is about how big it is. And this is my hand. So, yeah, I was right. This is about the size of my finger. Which is not bad. For $1.50, honestly, not bad. Who needs Starbucks when you have Hama Cafe? Alright, let's see if I can't get the straw open with one hand. Aha! I am a genius. Yeah, okay, this looks ridiculous. Look how big this straw is compared to this cup. If that gives you any kind of size comparison, it's the straw. Okay, let's see how it tastes. It's so good. It's so good. It's so sweet. It's really, really sweet, really, really creamy, but not in the artificial kind of way. I've had green tea lattes before. It just tastes like chemicals with some matcha green tea powder thrown in. This is actually really good. I'll definitely get this again. For 150 yen, you really can't beat it. Okay. So I think it's time to move on to desserts. So let's take a look. We have the pudding a la mauve parfait, strawberry cream cake, chocolate cake. Oh, 3-color sweet dumpling. Okay. 3-color sweet dumplings. Because these are so popular in Japanese games and anime. Every time you see like a festival scene, a summer festival or a cute date, they're always getting these little dumplings. They're very soft and mochi-like. I'm gonna finish this latte so fast. It's so good and it's so small. I mean, if you're not counting the ice, it's probably like this much. So really, it's gonna go quick. Oh, this is funny. They also have fresh grapes. Fresh grapes on our dessert menu. And this is because in Japan, a lot of kids are given fruit as a treat. Because fruit in Japan is so expensive. Like one apple could be $3 or $4. Sometimes $2, but that's, you know, for like the small cruddy apples. Fruit is just so expensive, and so after dinner, a lot of the times kids are given fruit as sort of like a, oh, here you go, it's a healthy dessert. And so oftentimes if I ask a Japanese child, I say, what's your favorite dessert? They'll say strawberries or pineapple, just because to them that is a dessert. It is a special treat, and it's kind of like a really sweet, like a sweet food. Desserts in Japan are generally not as sweet as overseas anyways, so fruit kind of fits into that dynamic. It's also very healthy. There are a lot of unhealthy options in Japan too. You can get like a lot of fried food, a lot of dumplings. Ramen is not that good for you. But in general, the food in Japan, if you eat this all the time, you will lose weight. I almost guarantee it. Unless you're really junking out on like, I don't know, parfaits. I guess Japan has really big parfaits. Where are my dumplings? I'm really looking forward to them. Oh, here we also have grated ginger. Some people really like eating grated ginger, either as a palate cleanser with their sushi or on top of certain types of fish. It's okay. Hamazushi's ginger is decent. Other places will kind of pickle it to make it really like bitter and also sour, but also super delicious. I love it. Ginger is one of those superfoods I really feel in Japan. I remember in America, a lot of our like medicines and cough syrups were honey or lemon. Here, quite oftentimes, it's ginger flavored cough drops and things like that. Yay!
Please don't forget to pick it up.
I love the English. Please don't forget to pick it up. All right, so here's our 3-colored dumpling, our odango. Let's see if I can't get it open. All right. Okay. So, our 3-colored dumpling. Now, I've had this, at least from a sushi place, I've had this 2 years ago. I really don't remember if they're different flavors or not, but here I'm going to assume, and we'll check afterwards, pink will be strawberry, I think white will be original, and green is going to be matcha green tea. They're very, you can kind of see into them. They're probably filled with azuki red beans. Okay, so they're very squishy. This one's especially squishy. Like a mochi. Let's see. Yep. It's filled with red bean paste. Red beans are often used in Japanese sweets and desserts. I used to think that was kind of weird because to me, red beans were like, you know, with Mexican tacos and things like that. It did not seem like a sweet to me. And they serve it on ice cream, they serve it with cakes, they serve it like stirred up in this sugary kind of soup for a dessert here. And it used to really weird me out. I didn't like it at first, but it really grows on you. They mash up really well into sweet pastes, and when you add sugar, it's perfection. So I recommend giving it a try if you can find anything with red beans. It's slightly cold. It's definitely been refrigerated, so it's super refreshing after. after a good meal. I can imagine, especially after having something sweet, such as a ramen or something like that, this dessert would be really, really good. Oh, now I'm gonna get cold because this is ice and this is cold. Alright. Oh, it didn't even think. It didn't really taste like strawberry to me. Actually, it just tasted like regular mochi with red bean inside. So if it was strawberry, it's a very light, very, very light type of strawberry. It didn't taste any different. Let's try the white one. This one tastes exactly the same. It's still got that red bean filling. It's still super delicious. It is slightly sweet. Like I said, it's not overly sweet, and most Japanese sweets and desserts are not. They're just not a fan of that overly ridiculously sweet taste. So good. Now it's funny. They do have Costco in Japan, and they have a lot of like Western things from all around the world. So one time my coworker was having a birthday party for her daughter, and she went to Costco and she picked up one of those square sheet cakes. Now, I know in America they're extremely popular. They're pretty much one of the only birthday cakes you can get unless you go to a private bakery. Those square sheet cakes that are just covered in like loads of frosting, like frosting flowers that are this big, and it's super, super sweet, and half the adults end up like scraping off half the frosting because it's too much for them, and the kids just go wild. So anyway, my Japanese coworker bought one of these sheet cakes and served it at her daughter's birthday party, and it was like full-on Western style sheet cake. I mean, they did not hold back on the frosting or the sugar or anything, and everybody hated it. Like they could not eat it. They would eat like 2 bites and be like, oh my god, like that is too overwhelming, that is too much for me, that's enough. And I thought that was just so funny because that's what I grew up on, is eating those overly sweet sheet cakes. And so yeah, if you are expecting this similar taste of sweets in Japan, don't, because they're very, very different. They're lightly sweetened and make you appreciate them, and I like that. And it's healthier, so I can eat a lot more. Balance it out. Okay. So, eating the green one. This one definitely tastes a little bit different. It's not like a hugely overpowering matcha flavor, but you can taste matcha in it. You can see the little grains. It's a little bit grainy. I shouldn't say grainy, but I can taste the texture. It's just a little bit less soft than the other two. Very good though. Very good. Man, see, now that I'm eating slow, I'm getting full so much faster. If I kept eating at the pace I ate the first 2 plates, I probably would have eaten 10 plates by now. Which is totally possible, but not good. Food's like half price if you portion yourself properly and eat slowly. Also, today we are lucky number 7. Table number 7. I feel good luck. I should go secondhand shopping and see what they have later. Secondhand stores in Japan are so much fun. At least being like an anime and game fan, you can find things at secondhand stores that are 100 yen, 200 yen. That overseas I would have paid like 30, 40 bucks for, like figurines, certain old games, original copies of like the first print of certain mangas. It's incredible. It's really awesome. Okay, so I think that is the end of our sushi adventure. I'm gonna go ahead and check out here. Thank you so much for joining me for some conveyor belt sushi here in Japan, Hamazushi. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.